Hello, hello, hello. It's Auntie. Happy, happy and blessed Palm Sunday. I had the palm, but I stopped by Mama after church. I gave Mom the palm. So you can see this palm. Yeah. How's everybody? I don't normally come on. Do I normally come on Sunday mornings? Probably not to do lives. Not in a while. So Auntie changing it up. Sometimes you're getting me on weekends. Sometimes you're getting me on evenings during the day as I was on vacation. So today you get me on Sunday. I had it in my mind since yesterday. And then yesterday I got caught up doing some things here at home. Yeah. I'm getting new cushion covers done. So of course then I have to change up the curtains that they would bring out the cushion covers. So the plan was just to clean the windows and wipe down the area around the windows, and that was the plan. And somehow from that plan I ended up doing some work for a good couple hours, but it's all good. The curtains up. Getting the cushion covers tomorrow. It's gonna be looking beautiful, yeah. Very thankful. And it brought home the point to me, like, I had a little moment yesterday, don't fool yourself, because the great plan once again was that the tiling of the house was supposed to finish like maybe mid-month. No way was it supposed to be still going on, just days away from end of the month. But yet here we are, you know. And that was a bit of frustration for me, talking and discussing that yesterday, yeah. That had me kind of heavy in my spirit. I don't know what happened that has shifted. I think my daughter just came out here. We were talking about something, and then I found myself just lifted. It was like, it's not something that I can literally control at the moment. It will get done, and it will get done soon. So we're not harping on that. And then when I started knowing, as I said, I was cleaning and keeping the house like a little change, spring cleaning. Not long at the beginning of spring, a little Easter shine, call it whatever you mean. And I said to myself, you don't have to wait until things are perfect. What's a better way of putting it? But you can perfect your imperfect situation, then you understand. Although I'm in this situation and I'm waiting and the construction's being done and certain things I'm not pleased about and certain things, as I said, outside of my control. The part that's very much under my control is how I react to the situation. Am I giving of my best effort in terms of cleaning and beautifying the house as it is, even in this kind of transitory, I hope that's a word, this state of transition, this like kind of being stuck in the limbo in between the old house and the new house, right? Yeah. So when I got started then and I made the change, I was very happy about that. So I said even more probably like it's something I need to look to do even more. And I don't know about you, but I always get a really good feeling anytime I'm decluttering, like getting rid of the old. It's not just in terms of the physical. Yeah, you're getting rid of clutter, decluttering. And it's a kind of liberating feeling, like free up yourself. But it's also like on a spiritual level now, getting rid of what no longer serves you, and making room then to welcoming the new. And yeah, you could interpret that in a lot of different ways. Some people see it as like leveling up, and some just in terms of changing your thinking, changing your mindset, changing your environment, and so on. So that was mostly yesterday. Okay. Then today now. And I got in nap time yesterday, which is always a win. Yeah, that was beautiful. And I took some time, spent some time chatting with some friends, mostly on the phone. So today, other than this time here on live, no, we're not going to be spending a lot of time. Yeah, person's got to wait. Wait for those responses and so on. We're not spending a lot of time on the phone like that today. But that was, you hear my belly growling? You heard that? Listen, I remember going to a summer camp. I think it was for the church. That's like as a teenager living by mom and so on, St. Stephen's Anglican Church. And we would go on tours. You know, every week you're going on one or two tours. And once they took us to the TV and the radio station. And the lady was explaining to us, this is what this does. And the next thing she said, we're going to need you to be very quiet because I'm actually going live now to bring over like the midday news or something. And of course, my tummy took that exact moment to be there growling. You know, I'm sure it must have been heard. It was quite amusing. I probably even saw the amusement in it at the time. I get it, huh? So I told you about yesterday. Let me tell you about today now. Right, so today, Palm Sunday, I went to church. Church was nice. It was a blessing. I did not make it to church. Early church is like 7. And I purposely go early so I have the rest of my day to myself. Then because like for Palm Sunday, you normally have a procession, like just as Jesus riding on a donkey. We don't get donkeys though, but as he riding, it would have a starting point, and then you have the procession and end up at the church. So I got there maybe 10 minutes later, so it was a good service. But then they decided, someone's outside, they don't believe this to me. No, it's not. They have me completely blocked in though, but that's all right. There was a fish cake and bake sale after church. For those who might not be from the Caribbean, when we say fish cake and bake, it's not that you're baking the cake and it has a fish. It's more a savory kind of thing. Not a pastry either, but it's a savory anything. You have your, we call it saltfish. Some others would say codfish, and your seasonings and your flour, and you season it all up, and it's really tasty and you fry it. Very popular thing. And it was being done like as a fundraiser for the young people in the church. And as I said, I was a little late, so when I made my way in, they were already frying them and getting them prepared and to sell after church, you know. I said, well, definitely I'm going to try to go to be able to support. You know, once it has to do with young people. Hello there. You said hi to me a time already. Welcome. Good to see you again. Noel, I'm just going to call you Noel. How are you today? How is your weekend going? And how are you spending your day? Yeah, so I said I'm going to go and definitely support this thing. And of course, you make your way out, you have your little chit chat, and you go and there's a line there. Not a line like in single file, you know, but like people just around the edge of the table and so on. And this lovely young lady, she's there. Well, the more mature adult is the person there frying and bringing the things out, and she's there just trying to do the sales. And what do you think happens next? You are good, okay? I'm good too. I'm really happy to see you, to get to chat with you again. What are you up to today? Yeah, and of course it ended up being inevitably I was here first and this person is coming ahead of me, and how you mean I have to wait? And what was supposed to be such a simple, beautiful thing turned out to be a lot of confusion till eventually then the young lady went and she turned her back, and I was thinking she was getting overwhelmed and she was going to cry and so on, and she went into her room. And I said, well, certainly this here is not going to be, when I said this is not going to be familiar, I don't need to actually buy these things. Like, priority was like to go and see after the young lady, and I went and I affirmed her, and I told her, you're doing such a beautiful thing, it is such a positive thing you're doing, you know, and I'm really proud of you, and don't let people overwhelm you. It's all about them, it's not about you. And just like held her. Another lady was there too, and we just like held her and affirmed her and held space for her in that moment. Happy Sunday to you too. I thought I told you before, I'm from Barbados in the Caribbean. Where are you from? Yeah, I hope you're having a happy Sunday. Yeah, and then they told me about this is the money I was going to spend buying these things. You just take the donation. I really don't want them anymore. You just take the donation and stay positive or so. But while in that moment when she was being emotional, she said, And they always want to know why the young people don't go to church, you know. And look how I here trying my best and how they're treating me. And it really wasn't so great. Yeah, I really was kind of up in a passion about it too. Yeah, I told you, so you tell me where you are from now. If you care, you don't have to. Yeah, and she's a really lovely young lady. She and my daughter, they were confirmed together. I did not bother to ask her name. I don't need to know her name. And I asked her, you know, what you're doing now. She said, I'm at university now studying, I want to say the correct thing. I think it's like management, like specializing in human resource management, which is lovely. And I could see like from her whole spirit, she would be good at that. But I was most disappointed with, you know, the whole treatment and whole things like that. So, to all the goodly people out there, we need to be encouraging our young people. Listen carefully to what I said. Yes, I remember now. You did tell me. You did tell me this. And when you told me, I share with you that I have researched my ancestry and some of it is from there. Yeah, I remember. I remember you. Right. Remember, I said church starts at 7. I got there like a little bit after 7. And when I got there, she's already deep into it and they're preparing these things. So she would have had to have me there from about 6. So I don't know where she's coming from, but obviously she didn't get up and get herself together like 10 to 6 to get there at 6. So look at the sacrifice from a young person and the interest and trying to help herself and the whole youth group and all of that. Yeah. So that's that, and I wish her well. And at every opportunity, anytime I see her, I don't really see her because most ladies she goes to the service that's later, the 10 o'clock one, which I used to go to. But now I go to the 7, and sometimes I leave church and I head straight to the beach because it's all along the same stretch. Yeah, or I go, I do my groceries, I spend time with mom, which is out today, float. Yeah, I like that early service. And I told you that already too. I told you most likely you have to go through the UK. Yeah. And you probably need a visa. I don't know much about these things. Yeah, you have to research it. Yeah, I don't know much about these things. But there's no direct flight. So probably either to like New York or something like that or the UK. All right. Um, hopefully one day soon, sometime soon, you could get direct flights, you know, going frequently from the Caribbean to Africa. Yeah, so that is about church. And then from church I left, I went and got my groceries. What can I report about there? Um, well, I was watching my money. I got everything I wanted to get. And something in particular I bought. And if they have the pricing like by the pound or whatever, and they call for a pound or one, it was some fish. Okay, let me talk it on. Let me talk it with my chest. And I think Auntie is the only one. Listen, sometimes I reflect on life and the goodness of God and how far I have come and so on. And I say, but Jess, you remember when from one payday to the next, like halfway between that period, all the money will be gone? Or you remember the days when you would always know the day when payday is coming. And before payday come, you already have the money allocated. Like, in other words, kind of in over your head, you know? You know, this bill has to pay, this has to be done, your daughter needs this, mom needs this has to be done to the house, this has to be done to the car. You know, this loan or something has to be paid. Yeah. It wasn't easy, but sometimes now I don't even remember know when it is the payday. Or the days when I still do it though, and it's something you should do. You're doing your shopping and you're trying to add as you go along, you know. And as people say, I don't know if it's the case of Beijing, we are speaking on Caribbean, you say you reckon and go up. When we say reckon, we mean like rounding off. So if something costs $4.39, you would say that's $5. So that as you add up to see if you have enough, you're always sure that you have more than enough, right? And you will be going through the supermarket And okay, two cans of tuna or something. That's $3, $3. That's six. A box of tea, which I bought tea bags today, and yeah, I bought me some English breakfast tea. Certain things, although like you will be mindful of prices and so on, when it comes to certain things, I've decided I allow myself. I don't know if I want to say indulging, but I allow myself to get what I want sometimes. I don't settle when it comes to certain things. Especially sometimes you might buy something, depending on what you're buying, and you know the one that is very, very cheap. That brand, like you're not going to enjoy it, or it's all watered down. It doesn't make sense. A good example is like in washing clothes or dishwashing liquid, something like that. You go for the cheapest thing, but then you have to use so much of it that it really, the mass will be mouth saying it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So I did what I had to do, and I was getting some fish. Yeah, we know it's best to get these things straight up from the market. Fish or like your produce, your vegetables and fruit and so on. But sometimes we do go to the supermarket for these things for convenience sake. And I was looking at one fish is called marlin. That's another thing you can share. Noel, tell me like what kind of fish, if you eat fish, and what kind of fish you get. What kind of fish you get where you are. Yeah. Let's share and learn a bit about each other. Like for us, especially now around Easter time, the big fish is supposed to be called it's a fish called flying fish. It's called that because it actually jumps up in the air as if it's flying. I don't even have $1 because I've been saving all of my coins. But it's supposed to be like our national fish, so it's on the you find it on the coins, on the dollar coin. Yeah. But we don't really see them much now, so they're very expensive now. They're scarce. Furthermore, some is too low, and you can more see them in China and different parts of the world, like Barbados or the Caribbean. But aside from flying fish, you can get we call it mahi mahi. Locally, we call it dolphin, but it's not the sweet, adorable kind of dolphin. It's actually the official name is mahi mahi, MAHIMAHI. You could get barracuda, kingfish, which is my husband's favorite. That's a pretty nice fish. I think in some other places, I think Cayman Islands. I'm not sure about Bahamas. I know Bonaire. They call it wahoo, right? But that is the same thing. Kingfish is a pretty nice fish. Swordfish. Oh, these are like steak fish. Swordfish. Um, sailfish. I don't know if we're really into that one. Billfish. That's another. My daughter most times she likes marlin. So the kingfish is always a bit more expensive than like the marlin and some of the others. So I kind of decide, and there was a gentleman there. We were all there. This particular supermarket I go to, they have it laid out like. So if you watch a movie or you see something fancy like an actual butcher shop, I like how they have everything there on display. It always looks very fresh and very nice. Someone's calling me. Why are you calling me now? Are you calling me now? Oh dear, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to answer. I'll just keep talking. Really, I'm gonna keep talking. Yeah, let me do that. Um, yeah, about my chain of thought. We were talking about the different fish. So it was a gentleman there, and he said, "No, you don't let me keep you back. You go ahead." I said, "What are you trying to decide?" He said, "Well, you're just like me." I said, "Yeah, I'm looking at the price." He don't mind the price. Why people live free, you know? So when he called, he was able to say he want $50 in fish. Me, I don't take it, don't leave it, you know. But for me, I call it had like 1 pound of Let me here telling you all the my domestic details. 1 pound of marlin and a pound of kingfish. No, I was trying to decide between the marlin and the kingfish. I called for the marlin, and then I said, but we haven't had kingfish in a while. I have a little conversation busy in my head now. I wonder, if I think someone's gonna come there to me now. I wonder if I could get like a half pound of fish. I never tried calling for a half pound of anything in terms of the meat. And I asked the guy, he went quietly. I was a bit embarrassed. I said, is it okay? Can you actually get like a half pound of fish? He said, well, yeah, how you mean? And he gave me, and that, as simple as it was like a little moment, because it was like, ask and you shall receive, And how do people know like what you need and how to meet you where you're at and so on if you don't speak up? So it's to cultivate, have that kind of boldness, you know? Yeah. So that's the story of me and the fish at the supermarket. And from there, I went to mom. We all know mom is very well gifted in her art. And we went there and I sang we, myself. And of course, she had to show off how her current creation is coming, looking on the canvas and so on. We played our dominoes. I beat her, I won 6-2, 6-2. Mom normally shares some blows when it comes to the dominoes, yeah? And we chatted, we laughed, we sang some songs when we were done. It really was a lovely time. And when she was done, she said, man, give me a hug there, give me a hug. Mom and I, we aren't all that kind of affectionate, lovey-dovey. We live pretty good, but yeah, that kind of huggy kind of thing. And then give her a hug. So you feel real good, you feel meaty. Caribbean thing wants again. It's probably African thing as well, right? We like to know that the women got that size and the feeling fleshy, That was a good job. But that was a lovely time, and as mom, she always share one, but she said, don't mind that I beating her in the dominoes, and she's gonna count her blessings. She's gonna be thankful. She's thankful that imagine she could be there at her age. She is 92. She turned 92 last month. She can cook up meal for herself. She can see after herself, like her general care and so on. She can sit down and like, play the dominoes with me and know what's going on. Things like that. Yeah. Yeah, really, I too shared, and I have a lot to be thankful for too. The church service, the fact that I was able to go to the supermarket and get basically everything I needed and feel comfortable in doing that. The fact that I could come and spend the time there with her, and then when I left her, I've come home now, and my daughter is cooking a meal, and I could probably go on and on and on. There's always something to be thankful for, always things to be thankful for, right? Yeah. So let that be an encouragement to you too. One of the things she sang was Count Your Blessings. I can sing that for you in a minute. I didn't have that lined up to sing for you, but I can sing it for you in a minute. That was one of the things that she sang. So I'm going to leave you shortly. Yeah, everybody probably cooking or resting and so as you jolly well should. Sunday. I got some crochet here. I'm going to get to this today. Still at it with this blanket. The thing with Auntie is always so much going on, Like I start the crochet, then maybe I'll be focusing on the lessons, then you have the gardening, then I might be doing something work related. But it's all fine. However needs to be done, gets done. Remember, this can be a word just for me alone. It might not always be in the timeline you want, but whatever needs to be done, whatever is to be done, once it's God's will, it will get done. But in his timeline and not ours. Right? Here's the curtain. See them? Pretty and pink. I'm going to line it up with this here. It's like a kind of gold kind of color. So them pretty? Mm-hmm. I find them calming. And the cushions. You don't get material to make cushion covers. You don't seem to get them in a lot of bright colors. Always a lot of neutral colors. I guess I could understand it is that way so that, you have a lot of options in terms of what you blend them with for your overall decor. But yeah, at this stage, I want something bright and popping. I didn't get those options. Again, it's something like, it's that kind of cakey or whatever color you would call that. And Black is a nice pattern though. It looks luxurious to me. And it's gonna go well with the curtains. So I give thanks. I've been talking. Jesus rose up from the dead, yes. Hello, elevator has. Good. Hello, elevator. Yes, he did. That's one of my favorite songs and so on. Hallelujah. I don't want to be jumping. It's like when it's Christmas time and people start singing the songs and so on it's like from October now. We don't even wait. Before it used to be November and we would be complaining because in Barbados. Yes, I am. Are you? It's a pleasure meeting you. In Barbados, our Independence Day is November 30th. So we always have a lot of celebration. You know, you spend that month now playing a lot of local songs. The music that's indigenous to Barbados is called spooge music. You would have to go and look it up. Spouge. But if you're someone that follows music and you know like the history of reggae and ska and where reggae originated from, spooge music was a big part of that. Right? It's a lovely kind of music, but we don't hear much of it until mostly around the Independence time in November. So once upon a time, if it's November, everybody will be pushing Christmas music. You know, the whole materialism thing and consumerism and so on. Pushing this music to get you in that spirit, to get you going, spend your money. People will be complaining, we don't want to be hearing Christmas music yet because it's November. It's supposed to be Independence time. But no, not even November. From October you hear it and nobody really fusses, you know. I mean, sometimes it's kind of like overkill, like too much too soon. I get kind of tired of it. So I'm sharing all of that to sing. I was just about to sing Hallelujah, Jesus is alive. And then I said, but remember, before we get to that part, well, Jesus is alive. We got to go through this process. We got to go through this journey today, really Palm Sunday. And I was at Mama. We were singing Ride On in Majesty. In lowly palm, Ride On to the. You can imagine that? You riding in and you know that that's your destiny. This, horrendous thing you have to go through. So before we could get to Easter Sunday, look at me though. You gotta have a Palm Sunday and all that entails. You gotta have all the different days. Well, my favorite is we call it Maundy Thursday, the washing of the feet. Cause to me that's like the ultimate act of humility. A really beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I like it a lot. Last Supper and the washing of the feet. Then we have a Good Friday. It was after Good Friday, the Saturday, which is just the day of waiting. Are you going through this process now with the house and different things in my life in this period of waiting? And we don't have any visible signs of what's going on because everything, Jesus is there in the tomb, so we don't know what's happening. We're just waiting, yeah? And then on the Sunday, beyond our expectations. But although I'm saying beyond our expectations, it's like he's staying true to his word. Because it's what he always told us, that he's never going to leave us, never going to forsake us. When he leaves, he's leaving to come again. To be glorified in everything. Hallelujah. Jesus is alive. Death has won us. Death has lost this battle, and the grave is been denied. Jesus lives forever. He is risen. He is risen. He's the Alpha and Omega. First and last is he. La 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 Jesus reigns forever. He is risen. He is risen. He's the Alpha and Omega. First and last is He. He's lost its battle. Perfect victory. Jesus reigns forever. Is risen. Risen. Yeah. Worthy is. And they planted here singing all these songs for y'all, you know. I have one song on my mind, and that is You're the Good, Good Father. For whatever reason, I had that, you know, I was reflecting on the goodness of God, and I had that song in my head to come and sing You're the Good, Good Father. I didn't plan, but God's will prevail. Worthy is the Lamb seated on. Stop singing. My singing is so sweet, huh? You see me here praising God and singing. You should probably join in. Happy Sunday to you too. Seated on. God bless you. Down he's joking. He comes. You reign victory. How are you today, by the way? How are you? It's all good. I can take a good job. I'm a very happy person. Reign victory. You got me forgetting the words now. High and lifted up, Jesus, Son of God, the darling of heaven, crucified. Worthy is the Lamb. Thank you very much. Thank you. Worthy is the Lamb. Oh, thank you so much. I received that blessing, and I wish the more for you. As you pour into me, I pray that God will pour into you abundantly, lavishly. I was looking at this video. It was like 2 days ago, but it had to do with the Jamaica. I don't know if they call it constabulary. The Jamaica police. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing it, giving the wrong title. But this young man, he just recently passed out. He was a recruit. He recently became a policeman. And he said his greatest inspiration is his father, who is also a policeman, but the father is blind. You know, I suppose he has duties, you know, to suit that there. But if the father's like an inspector or whatever, and he went on his share, he had lost his mother and how his father has been there for him. And when he, I guess when he passed out or whatever, and he was told, well, you are no policeman, you know, however it all worked out. Even he embraced his father, he was just sobbing. It was such a beautiful moment, boy. Being spoke about how his father has been there for him. And it really just touched me. And I was saying, you know, just God bless this family. And that word lavishly came to me in terms of the father, how the father has been there for the young man. And the sisters, 2 children he has. And he spoke, of course, but wishing that the mother could be there, and you know how he has been there and so on. And it just was like, may his latter days, all that still become, all the days that are still to come, be so much greater than what he has already gone through. That God would just pour out his love and his blessings and everything on him. Yeah, it was beautiful. I'm watching all the way from Guyana. You are a Barbadian? Oh, I probably have some roots in Guyana. I've really been into tracing my roots. But you know how it is in Caribbean. As we say, we all of us. You know, all of us mixed up. But yeah, I do have some family from Guyana. I will have to go back and look at it again. Yeah. But that's beautiful. I've been to Guyana once. I'm not remembering. Was it the Marriott? Is there a Marriott hotel there? Yeah. And I have a pair of earrings that I'm always wearing whenever I wear them. I get a lot of compliments. I'm not wearing them now, but they're earrings like with the like natural, made from natural stuff. Like say maybe the I don't know if it's the shock or what, but made like from something natural, and then they have the cowrie cowrie shells on them. Yeah, they're really beautiful, and I got them in the market downtown there in Guyana. Yeah, also a lovely bag. If I come on again, I will bring it here and show. Even if you're not here, you might go back and see it, right? But a lovely leather bag, like a satchel, and very intricate design, really beautiful. Yeah, get some really beautiful craftsmanship out there. And we went, at that time we went over some bridge. I know that y'all have like constructed another bridge now, because when I was sharing with someone, I said we went across this river, like you could drive over or something, this bridge, and someone said no, you're not talking about the more recent one, you're talking about something else. And then I went to this place. There's a place you could go that you get a lot of natural wines, right? It's this lovely couple. They're from the States, but they've made their home there. And you could go if you want to have like a little retreat. There's a place you could go and like you sit down to have the hammocks and so on. Just very nice and serene, you know. But I think we had a meal there, and as I said, they made these nice natural wines, and so I have to come again. It's obviously a lot to ask, but I'm a person like I'm a nature place like that. That's how I am. Yeah. May God also keep my family and strengthen them. That's such a beautiful thing for you to say. Because I was sitting here, I always come and share like things about my family, you know. Yeah. I was sharing about my mother. My mother is 92. Mom, I don't know like, but you said that you say you're watching from. You are Barbadian. Okay, I got you. Got you now. Mom came up anytime when you know you would only go to school like for a certain stage, and then beyond that you have to pay. Right? Maybe I don't think it was 14. Maybe said 12, 13, maybe around there. You know? Yeah, that was mom's education. Mom now has discovered that she's very gifted in art. Yeah, and she enjoys painting. It's such a beautiful journey. Like she would always just be trying to do things to keep herself active. She would be, first she would show me she's practicing her writing, which seems like a simple thing, but you know, these are things that really do help keep us mentally alert and so on. Her handwriting. Then she would be coloring. I got coloring books for her. Then she showed me she started sketching some things in a book. I got drawing books, a different supply. And I said, you know what? For the next Mother's Day coming up, I connected with a young artist here, beautiful Brianna. She's one of these artists, like, you know, when you have Whole Town Festival, you go and you could sit down and somebody does a sketch of you right there. Very, very talented. I said, I want you to come and give my mother a lesson. And she came, and mom worked then on, I think she started doing like portraits. And the next time I got the young lady to come, suppose it was like for mom's birthday, you know. Oh, about all in capitals. I didn't realize I was whining. I'm actually here sharing some very happy things. Yeah, thank you so much. Be blessings on my mom. Yeah, when the young lady came again, she brought some carrots and she said we're going to go on to painting now. And from that simple act of kindness, once again, I thank her so much. Mom went on then to do some paintings on the canvas, and she started giving them away as gifts. And people would ask her sometimes, man, you don't want me to buy this? She said, no, I don't want to sell them. It's more like mom just wants to be remembered. So she gave it to her neighbor. She gave, I have one, my daughter has one in her room. My neighbor here, who's come like a very close family friend. You understand, like people that are close to her. Yeah. She just really wants to be remembered and to be able to give a part of herself to them. Yeah. So I'm just fascinated to see that you took the time to be late. I'm not just praying for you, but also God's blessings on your family. Because whenever I come, I'm always talking about mom or my daughter or, someone in the family. I really appreciate that a lot. And I pray that God will bless you too. Yeah. All right, Michael Long. Okay. But yeah, you're still here. God bless you too. You're a good, good father. It's who you are, who you are, who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am, who I am. I look like Whoopi Goldberg. Who I am. Thank you. You are perfect in all of your ways. Perfect in all of your ways. You're a good, good father. It's who you are, who you are, who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am, who I am, who I am. Perfect in all of your ways. Perfect in all of your ways. You're a good, good father. Who you are, who you are, who you are. Ah. Oh, what we do is when we get those kind of comments and so on, we don't, I say we, but myself, those things are usually attention seeking behavior, And the fact is, you came on, and the first thing you said is boring, but yet you're still here. So some other people will respond differently, but I don't. Yeah. We always respond with light because darkness cannot exist where there's light. Thank you so much. Hallelujah. 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 For the Lord God Almighty reigns. Hallelujah. Holy, holy are you, Lord God Almighty. Worthy is the Lamb, worthy is the Lamb. You are holy, holy are you, Lord God Almighty. Worthy is the Lamb, worthy is the Lamb. Amen. Girl, if it's one thing I've learned, and funny enough, I was sharing this with a young man up to last night. Because where he works in the government service. A young person, a young positive person. And he, I'm not sure how we got at that point of the conversation. But he said, he found sometimes he gets to work late, but he comes from a far distance. Oh, how we got into it because he said he's very much a night owl. I said, but I'm the opposite. I'm a morning person. So he said, yes, that's one. I'm not a morning person. That's one of the reasons. And I tend to get to work late. And the other reason is I don't feel inspired because it's a very toxic environment. And he finds that sometimes, like, as a young person, he would be sharing ideas and so on. And they would get shut down, you know? Sometimes people just comfortable where they are. They're not prepared to like challenge themselves and so on, and they don't want to hear, which is a fact. They don't want to hear suggestions from other persons who would seek to come in and look to improve things I say you have to be like when you have, and he didn't know it's donkey blind. He had me aging myself. He didn't know blinders. I said the thing that the donkey has at the side of his eyes, right? That you don't be looking to the left or to the right. You just stay focused, that you know for yourself. You are a positive person. These are your goals. This is how you have things mapped out. I remember you always say we have our own plans in terms of how we have things mapped out, but God's will always prevails. But you have your own goals and so on that you are working towards. You got to be able to be the way you bring it over now, basically mentally strong and stay focused and stay positive and continue to work on your own growth and don't let people detract you, because if you're not careful, people will kill your spirit. Yeah. So it's like you just come on and confirming a lot of things. Yeah. It's really beautiful. But and I'm a person who do a lot of work with young people. I just sharing a bit of myself with you. I teach reading lessons to young people, primarily little children. I know I even have a young adult mother. It's such a blessing, such a joy that I'm able to be a part of her journey like that. And I also mentor them. And that's something I'm constantly trying to tell them. You gotta be able to be mentally strong. You gotta know yourself. You gotta try to be a leader. Don't just follow and so on. Yeah. Yeah. That's fun for them. And as you can see, I'm not seeing the person anymore. 'Cause if I was a person, some people would get riled up. Whatever you say, and I send it back to you. And yes, sometimes you do come to that stage when you got to give it back to people pound for pound, but that's really not my nature. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for those kind of silly things, man. I'm a grown woman. Probably soon to be 51. I don't have time for those kind of things. Yeah. So I'm gonna read a little passage now, and that's gonna be it for me. As I said, I have all that planned, but somehow I feel I should do it. So how's your day going though? I'm here just talking about myself all the time. I'm not giving you a chance. I hope you're having a good day. I don't know if you went to church today. I don't know how your day is unfolding for you. For me, I went early. Then I went and bought a few groceries. I went and I spent some time with mom. That was really a blessing, yeah. Because mom, she doesn't they get out to church, but I took and got my little palm and I took my palm to her, and that was such a blessing to her. And we talk and she get her time, when they get to that age, and it's a lot of reminiscing, like a lot of the same stories over and over and over again. You would know, right? Yeah. And I play some dominoes with her. And then we sang some hymns. These things mean a lot. I always encourage people, try and make time for each other. And that's yeah, the age, like it doesn't have to do with maturity. It is true. It is true. It doesn't guarantee maturity. I see it all the time. Even how I told you I deal with children. Even I thank God I'm able to have like an open heart and an open mind, and I in turn I learn a lot from them. As sometimes when you watch the two, you have to, like, there's a saying, like, sometimes the tail wagging the dog. Sometimes you ask yourself who is the adult and who is the child. Yeah. Well, there are a lot of immature people. Sometimes you get a lot of immature people in like holding positions of authority and so on too. I'm taking it beyond my own Barbados now. Barbados, yes, but globally, internationally, whatever. So the same way, ignore the person there. I mean, it's not wrong if you're a person like to follow news and different things and for the sake of being aware, but you don't allow these things to steal your joy either. My own personal, but for me personally, I guard my mind, I guard my peace. So I even am very careful about like consuming news all the time too. But a good way to approach it is to focus on what you yourself could do within your own circle, like to make things better. Simple little things you could do. Like how we share, like spending that time with mom. Suppose some, even you might have somebody in your community. And just a little 10 minute, how are you? And I saw this thing, I think it was from St. Vincent, but it was focusing on mental health. And the doctor or whoever, the practitioner who was speaking, he said, if you ask someone if you say to someone, how are you doing? Be prepared to actually listen. Are you of it? Because I'm not really asking because I'm that like manners and it's reflex thing we know is what to do. But suppose I go like, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing that good because I lost my job or I get in problems in my relationship or my child giving me trouble or something like that. Most time by the time the person, I'm keeping it real, the person starts to go on, you kind of zone out. You might try and you offer your support or whatever, but that person really goes on. Sometimes even sometimes we find ourselves people like the regret asking, like, I wish I didn't actually ask how they doing, you want to hear all of that there. Right. So we gotta get past that kind of thing and actually genuinely care about each other and take that time to be there for each other. Sometimes you do it and the person needs help otherwise, or sometimes you might be, which I discover at my own stage now of learning to put up boundaries and so on. Sometimes you try to help people, but if you're not careful, you will find yourself getting dragged down. So that's another, everything has to be about balance, right? Yeah, so you have to know that too. All right, I'm going to read from John 14. Because as I was sharing, I found myself talking about Jesus. What was the point I made? I said the whole season that we're going to be entering now with the Holy Week and so on, there had to be a Good Friday before you could get to Easter. And in between the Good Friday and the Easter was the Holy Saturday, which we don't take notice of, but it's a real big deal because that had to be a day of waiting, a day of uncertainty, a day of just trusting because there was nothing visible that you could see that would let you know. But for sure, he's going to rise again on the Sunday, right? It's like you just had to, just as I'm sharing now, don't keep blinders, right? And block out all whatever the world and whoever would be buzzing in your ear. Look, he didn't really, he was fooling you all along. Look what he went through. Look, he had to do, look this and look that. And where is your Jesus now? And so you have to block that out and just believe. Just believe, just by faith alone. And just believe. Peace of mind is a gift when you, yes. Yeah, your Sunday. Yeah. From the Bible app on your phone. That's really lovely. You have like a favorite scripture? My favorite scripture is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Yeah. You have a favorite? If you have a favorite psalm, I have a verse from a psalm. Look at me now, I can't remember. I have to go and search to tell you exactly what psalm. One of the translations, one of the versions say, with my God, I can scale any wall. Right? Yeah, that's a favorite thing I like from one of the psalms. Oh yeah, so comforting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Lord is my shepherd. This version, this Bible is the Good News Bible. This is the Bible from the Catholic Church. So that one reads Psalm 23. I think the Lord is my shepherd. I have everything I need. And that is something I personalize. Let me tell you. In the good and in the bad, I personalize. And when I read in God's word and so on, I make it personal. Yeah. All right, let me read John, then I can read that. Then I'm gonna go. Because sometimes I sit down here and I just chat, which is fine. That's a really beautiful psalm, though. All right, it's John 14. Do not be worried and upset. Jesus told them, believe in God and believe also in me. There are many rooms in my Father's house, and I am going to prepare a place for me. You see how I said for me, just as I told you, I personalize them. I am going to prepare a place for you. So like for me, when I read and I meditate on these things, I will be like, you go before me in everything I have to do, You have already prepared the way. I can't see it in my frustration and everything. I am not sure like if this is the path or if I'm gonna go down this path and there's gonna be obstruction and things in the way. But I need not worry because you have already gone ahead and prepared the way. I will not tell you this if it were not so. And after I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to myself, so that you will be where I am. You know the way that leads to the place where I am going. You hear that? So you know the way. You already know the way. So part of it, you gotta trust God. You gotta trust in what Jesus is telling you everything. And the bigger, probably more challenging part is that you gotta trust yourself. You gotta believe in yourself too, that you know the way, because He has already equipped you, and it's for you to have the faith to know you're capable and that you can find the way. Thomas said to Him, Lord, we do not know where you are going, so how can we know the way to get there? Jesus answered him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one goes to the Father except by me. Now that you have known me, he said to them, you will know my Father also. And from now on, you do know him, and you have seen him. Philip said to him, Lord, show us the Father. That is all we need. So that went completely over Philip. Jesus answered, for a long time I have been with you all, yet you do not know me, Philip. And I could take that now, like, he says for a long time. Like, for a long time he has been with me too. And when I say being with me, his goodness, right? His grace, his mercy, and so on. Shielded me from a lot of things, guided me, protected me, showed me favor, made a way for me, turned situations around, exceeded my expectations, and I could go on and on and on. And although I know all these things, and I know that he's there with me, I would still have my moments of doubt, and my moments of frustration, and my moments of overwhelm, as I'm entitled to, and as he understands and, expects me to. Whoever has seen me has seen the Father. Why then do you say, show us the Father? Do you not believe, Philip, that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? The words that I have spoken to you, Jesus said to his disciples, do not come from me. The Father who remains in me does his own work. And as I read that, that's something that I will personally, as I share with you as I read. Truly by faith. Yeah. Yes, and more importantly by actions. Yeah. Sure. Well, we don't focus enough on him, We don't focus enough. I myself, that's not something that I find myself reading a lot, but now that you put that there, I'm going to make the effort and do it, yeah. But that is the perfect example when I was sharing with you about the Saturday and how imagine you would have people busting in your ear, curse God and die. And look how you serving God, look how he got you, This thing happened to you, the next thing happened to you, all these calamities. Look at how you looking. He was getting it from all around, all angles. Nobody speaking the life and the positivity and the goodness over him. Hello there. Is it Walt? It's nice to meet you. No, I've never read it, to be honest with you. I have not. I have not. But thanks for being here. Yeah. Um, I lose my train of thought. Right, so last thing I was saying, the Father who remains in me does his own work. So this would be like something that I will personalize. I would like, you are in me, you remain in me. Bring me to the place that I can always say, let it be less of me and more of you, that you may be glorified through all that I do. You know? May all that I do be done for your good. That people will see you and your goodness through me. That you would always be glorified. Let your light shine through me. Take me and mold me and fashion me. Break me. That's not an easy thing to say either. Break me when I say break me, like break my own will. Give me that heart for you. Give me a heart after you. That's one of the people normally say they love about David, you know? Although David will go and he will he will stray and he will err and so on. He will always say, just now remove your face from me, Lord. Give me that heart after you. Yeah. Of course, yes I am. Yes I am. Of course, that's how we must live. That's how we must live. Yeah. I actually have Muslim friends and they're very kind. Very kind. I love the community. And I love I don't know if this is how it is all over the world or what, but like in Barbados, I love how you get like the extended family living in the household. I love the respect between the different generations and so on. I love like the charity, the attention they pay to instructing the youth and the young people and so on. Yeah. The brotherhood, how they're there for each other. Yeah. 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 I could probably go on, but that's how I look at things. Your age 21. Whoa, look at you. You're very mature for your age, and we having this kind of nice conversation. You see what I told you? That in all interaction, you have to do it with an open mind. How I share with you that as I interact with the children, I don't always do it as, I call myself Auntie Jessica. I don't always do it as, I am Auntie Jessica and you are the small child. So the learning and everything can go from auntie to you and you got to be absorbing. No. I'm looking for something to mark the book now. I try to look at it in a way like there's a reason these children have come into my life, you know? And sometimes if you hear the things that they share, I be like, but there's a lesson. This not even this child before me speaking. This even like God using them as a vessel and speaking to me. You know? Was an example I could give. I remember there was a particular boy used to come joke, beautiful boy. And he would be like, I have my locks then. I have my natural hair and I always have a long thick head of hair. So I was sharing with Joker that the little boy who came before him had talked for me about my hair. I said, but it's your hair. And don't let anybody tell you how you must wear your hair. Uh, you gotta love your hair. You gotta love it for yourself. And another time, it might have been each other. It might have been like my daughter when she was small. And somebody said, it might have been her. I think it was a time she wanted to try to bake like a cake. You know how you can get the cakes with the two layers, right? And how she was describing to me that she wanted to approach it. Would it be like the clinical way, the textbook way that you was saying? I said, but I don't feel that could work. And she said, of course it could work. Just because you think that it cannot work doesn't mean that it cannot work. It can work, and I will make it work through the mouth of a child. So I am so blessed to see you share that at such a tender age we could sit down here and be like reasoning and sharing with each other, you know, and being positive and speaking life. That's really what I'm all about. Yeah, yeah, more of this all the time, boy. You are still learning. Yes. This year, what month when is your birthday? Mine is in October. Yeah. But that's such a beautiful thing. And I love that you said you recognize that you're still learning and you seem to have that desire. So the fact that you have that desire and God will perceive that desire, as you read the Bible more and more, He's going to show up more in your life. He's going to show up to help you understand things. Just like how I'm here trying to explain things because I'm all about simplicity. Right? I'm not a scholar or anything. But in everything I do, I try to personalize it and I try to, maybe that's the teaching aspect. I'm not officially a teacher, but I have that kind of spirit and I have that heart for children, a heart for people in general. But I tend to, I'm at the stage now, I'm about slow life, the softness in life, simplicity. See like how I told you the ability to respond to that person? Yeah, this is where I'm at. The sweetness. No, and nearest among them. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. Devoted to learning. That's really lovely. Thank you. Nobody ever took the time to share a verse or anything with me. I appreciate that a lot. I really. Your birthday is in October. What? But look at this. Mine is the 24th. Yeah, mine is the 24th. Oh man, you really take to each other's spirit, you know. But what he was saying to you, the mere fact that you said you're open to learning, you have that desire and you would like to grow deeper and so on, as you spend the time. Listen, I don't do it as often as I should, right? I don't do it as often as I should. And I just spend a lot of time on my phone and like following and looking at different content things with people sharing and so on, which is all well and good, but it can't replace me actually coming here and like spending time and reading Bible for myself and you know soaking in and asking God to reveal it, what He will have me take away from what I'm reading and reveal Himself to me. Open your eyes. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. See you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love. We sing holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my Lord. Yes. Singing more worship songs. Yes, yes, yes. Whatever you feel led to do, and it's a positive thing, go ahead and do it. And you know when it's a great time to worship too? When you're going through challenging times. When you least feel like doing it, that's when you need to do it most. Um, there's a song, I'm not sure if it's scriptural, but it speaks about like the sacrifice of praise. That even in praising God, it's a sacrifice. Cause sometimes you don't feel, I don't know about you, but you don't be feeling it. When I first came on to do this live today, I shared, cause I am on a journey, like having some renovations done to my home. And things not going all according to Jessica's timeline. They're going according to God's timeline. Sometimes I get frustrated. I talk to God very openly, and I'm like, "But God, you got me like how the Israelites were going through the desert or something. This is supposed to be one. It's kind of journeys like this." You know, the Bible speaks about that and said, I don't know the exact the exact time and so. But this journey is something that probably should have taken days, a very short period of time. But because of how, the people acted and so on, it ended up being like much more lengthy and something that took years. Yeah. So anytime I'm reading anything to do with waiting, or even I share something to do with waiting through interacting with persons and so on, that is something that hits home to me. Because that's one area of my life where I can see myself waiting a lot on this journey from day one. Yeah? On this journey. And the thing about it is that it's something I wanted to do for a long time. But I had to like just take a leap of faith. I can't sit down and wait for all the ducks, everything to be perfectly lined up in order. I had to like take that leap. You know what? Today's the day we're gonna go and we're gonna get a plan drawn up for this work I wanna have done on the house. And then in submitting that plan, I think that was done during COVID time. And I had to wait so long. Normally with government things take a while. Sad to say. Why I think most people are lazy. So I want to read. I don't know if I see it as laziness, that people are lazy. I think a big part is I think like innately, this is my own feeling. I think innately everybody's like searching for something, right? Like that connection and so on. Even sometimes they come on here and someone will come with something like, the standard run of the mill kind of thing. Are you married and you look this way? And I just say either disregard, I would answer like in a respectful way, or I disregard it. Because even in that kind of thing, I could perceive when people are bringing over themselves in that kind of way. Like lustful then, for lack of a better word, right? It ain't so much just like a thing about wanting that kind of physical connection. It's like a kind of spiritual lack. It's like something that you longing for, something that you longing to have fulfilled. But you gotta come to a place that you can perceive it, that you lacking in something and you have an empty space before then you can take action to fill it. But if you're physically thirsty, which you shouldn't do, I all about wellness too. We're supposed to be keeping ourselves hydrated before we actually reach that point of feeling thirsty. But most people, when you feel thirsty, then you will look to go and get something to drink. But if you're going along, especially if outside is cold and you don't feel that thirst, you don't go then to seek to balance back out yourself by quenching that thirst. So this how I choose to look at it. I know maybe you see it differently. I get you though. I get when you say that it's frustrating and so on. But it comes with knowing yourself emotionally and everything and coming to understand. I can't make it through this life on my own. There's something lacking. And this I'm very much at this stage now. Where although I like to think of myself as pretty well rounded and I'm on a journey, I'm getting there. But I look at myself more and more, all I find myself saying, like, God just come into my life. It works out that every time I come on these nowadays, I ended up making this point though. Fill the cracks, right? Seal it. Because maybe on the outside, people are looking and thinking, but they have it all together. Even I, for myself, probably thinking, Jessica, you're doing well. You're managing, you're holding it down, you're paying your bills, you're taking good care of your health, you're seeing after your family, you're doing a pretty good job in this aspect and the next. Girl, you got it going on, you're doing good. Not knowing that on the surface, right, everything seems to be perfect and that I have it all held together. And on the inside, I got so many cracks. A leak here, something leaking out here, right? Something barely being held together here and here and here and yeah. So it's only God who created me, who knows me better than anyone else, who knows where to find all those different cracks. Huh? Who knows I still got some wound probably from losing my father at a young age, which I did, right? who would know I probably went through some kind of disappointment or something in life, and maybe shielding my heart, you know, from letting those things happen again. Who would know, maybe I had originally aspired to be something, and then something happened and that got derailed, and I got myself to a point like with Saint mates. I using this part as an example, I think. With Saint mates, not to like even dream again. You know? And I can be the only person like this. So in my own personal meditation, I spend a lot of time praying and asking God, fill me up. Just fill me up. Just fill me up. Not even the point of being full and overflowing. Which I get. Right? I get that part. I know that's a beautiful thing as well. But fill me in terms of sealing me. And as I say, I visualize it. Right? I look at myself and I picture that on the inside. As I say, I have these little holes. I have a dent here. I have this part needs repairing or whatever. And I just see him pouring into me with his love, with his grace, with his goodness. Yeah. And listen to me. When God pour into that down, hear me with my beard, you know. When God pours into those holes and those cracks and those different things, that's perfectly sealed, you know. That is something like, say how we fixing potholes in the road. That's something like he pours in and that settles in. Right? Pouring his love there and deal with me and renew my spirit and so on. And that seals it. That's going to be enough for me. So we got to come to that point that we realize, yeah, I seem to have it all together, but I really don't have it all together. All this on my own. Okay, so I'm going back reading now. Some people may believe. Yes, there's a difference. Yeah, it's about having a personal relationship. It's not something that comes overnight, but yeah, I tell you, you're in the right place though. The fact that you share with me that you have that desire, right? That is the most important thing. That you have the desire. Hi, hi, Jessie. Is that my Mary Bear? Mary Bear used to come to lessons with Auntie. How are you, Mary Bear? Mary Bear, if that is you, I saw you on TV at NAPSA. I saw you in the stands, Mary Bubble. I did. Yeah. Oh, I'll try this. I don't know all the words, but I'll try. Is it fill me up, God? Fill me up. Fill me up, God. Fill me up. It's me, oh God. I'm on my knees, crying out to you. It's me, oh God. I'm on my knees, crying out to you. Fill me up, God. Fill me up. Fill me up, God. Fill me up. If that's not the right one, I will have to look it up. Right? I will have to look it up and sing it for you. I will. I'll check it out after. If that's not it, I'll check it out. And I'll say, you know what? A kind hearted. Okay. But you never know that might come true. You never know. You never know. But thank you very much. Thank you for seeing my heart as well as I see yours. Thank you so much. Yeah. I didn't get through reading John yet, and I want to read this song. You remember where I stopped? Oh, when I say the Father remains in me and does his own work. Believe me when I say that I am in the Father and the Father is in me. If not, believe because of the things I do. I am telling you the truth. Those who believe in me will do what I do. Yes, they will do even greater things because I am going to the Father. And I will do whatever you ask for in my name, so that the Father's glory will be shown through the Son. If you ask him for anything in my name, I will do it. Mm-hmm. And that faith, being bold in your faith, ask for your heart's desires. Right? Even specific there, just know, my friend, in terms of who you would like to marry and so on. Even things like that, allowed to be specific. Yeah. You are allowed to be specific about things. I'm trying to think of an example. I think there was a time, just a simple example, like I went to work. I didn't know if I didn't have lunch or what had happened. It might not be in a situation that I couldn't buy lunch if I needed to. But still, like, somehow, if I made a simple lunch, I want to tell the story as it's to be told. Normally, I would cook and I would have food to take to work for lunch, right? I don't really buy lunch. So maybe like on this day, my daughter or somebody needed to have the food, or they just didn't have any, or whatever the case may be. So I do a simple thing like a sandwich. I do something light for myself. And then I say, you want to know, well, all I need is dessert. You know? I say, what if God gonna show up for me in a way that somehow I gonna get dessert? You know, like I went to work and somebody came and give me like something that would be dessert. Yeah. Like maybe like there's a lady that normally comes through and brings things from the bakery because her son works at the bakery. It was some kind of something like that. And when the person brought it and gave it to me, I shared like, yeah, how I had a conversation with God the morning and what was, yeah, because you should share these things to encourage people too. Yeah. And I could give a lot more examples like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. A lot more. I remember there was a time too, long ago, when things used to be very challenging, like financially. And my daughter then, maybe she was, I don't know if she was 2 as yet, but there was a neighbor here, like an elderly lady in the community. From the time I moved, because where I live now, I moved out here on my own initially, and then I got married and so on. And she kind of took me under her wing, you know, very close, like party family. So then when I had my daughter, she will come and she will be checking and, you know, be that kind of support. And I think we need more of that too, being really loving and supporting. And she came a time because she was like gardening. And then also she had brought like some Pampers. I said, but I didn't expect that you would bring me Pampers. She said, yeah, because I went town with my daughter and I said, I bring these because, you know, once, again, me no even remembering it. She said, you know, I said to myself, once you got the little children small, so you always need Pampers. And she brought Pampers. So I had yam to cook and I had Pampers. And then someone showed up for me. All this is within one day. Someone else showed up for me. And I had fish to put with my yam. And then I think perhaps the same lady then came back like the evening time. And she said I was baking and I brought you some cassava pone, which I haven't had in a long time that I feel like eating now. Yeah. You can imagine that? You understand what I'm saying to you? That things were really low in the house. Probably could have scrounged up some kind of something for a meal. Right? I don't think it would be that the cupboard was bare, but things were getting pretty low. And God use these different people use things in a way, you know, to show me that not only is he going to be satisfying my basic needs, but above and beyond. So it wasn't just the yam would have satisfied me in itself. And then you get the fish to go along with that. And then you get the Pampers to make sure that the child is taken care of. So I'm just satisfying your stomach. Right? And then you get this beard thing as dessert. Mm-hmm. So we are allowed to be bold and to be extravagant in our prayers. Yeah. In fact, that's what he wants us to do. Yeah. And to be persistent. Because another about where I am too, I always visualize, the passage in the Bible where I am. The guy goes and wakes up his neighbor, knocking on the neighbor's door there. Knock, 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 knock. I run out of bread, I need some bread or whatever. And the neighbor and they're sleeping, neighbor don't want to move. And the guy won't give up. He knocking, 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 knocking. The guy just, here, take it. Just so I could go back to sleep. Here, take it, take it. He probably gave him more than he was asking for just to keep him from coming back. So that's the stage. That's the stage where I'm at now. You know? That kind of bold. And I'm loving it. It's a good look and it's a good feel. I'm loving it for myself. Let me tell you, I'm loving it. And you're going to love it too. You give it a try. And if you get to come back here and see me again, let me know how it's going. But be bold, be bold, be bold in your prayers. Be bold in your prayers. And another part about being bold in your prayers, you got to see yourself as worthy of God's best, of the best that he deserves for you. Okay? Of worthy and being deserving. That's another thing. I find it's a thing that we are challenged as women. How I know this is a journey that I guess I could say I'm still on, but you know, I've come a far distance in it. You see something called self-care. I always used to have myself as last. I used to be like, this got to be done. Daughter, mom, bill, house, this thing and the next thing got to be done. And then I see if I could squeeze out a little drop and go and do a little something for myself. Maybe a little time at the spa. Maybe treat myself to a meal, something that I enjoy, some little experience. When everything else is done, taken care of, and I could squeeze out a drop. So when I barely manage it, you know, most times I'm making it to the drop. When I barely manage it to make it to the drop when I can, I can be dealing with the other things like in a good place, like mentally. And so if you understand, it's a kind of grudging thing. There's a kind of bitterness because I'm doing it. But I regret and I up in my feelings, understandably so, that I'm not going to do anything for myself. So I don't operate like that anymore. I take care of myself. The other things get taken care of too. Sometimes they wait too while I take care of myself to make sure I can be in a good position. Taking care of them. Fill me up, God. Or I will go and search for the song. I promise you. I'm gonna go and learn that song for you. All right. Yeah, find time. There's one that goes fill me up, but I was saying to myself, I don't think that's Tasha Cobbs. Yeah. Arms wide open. Oh no, I don't know this one at all. Gracefully, bro. It's beautiful lyrics though. It's scary. They think backward about life yet. How Cinnamon? Cinnamon is doing good. Cinnamon must be outside. Mary Bear. Or I don't know if she's in Gabrielle's room. Anytime I come on here, I gotta make sure that I let you see her. Yeah. She was here. She likes to go here by the window, you know, the window here in the front, and lay down there and bask, get the sun and everything. Yeah. Still licorice. Still very licorice, my Mary Bear. Yeah. You know, doggone, I lost the page with all the talk, but it was John 14. Or did it finish that? Yeah, I have finished it because I only want to read that part there. Yeah. So let that be a source of encouragement. I saw this thing online. This lady, she's a kind of holistic person, but she shares very much on her journeys, like childbirth. I mean, she's having her children and so on. She does home birth, give birth to her children at home, you know. And she said, I want that when I'm giving birth to my children, I am wearing this beautiful white dress. And I'm surprised to see how many people come in the comments like, well, you would choose to wear white. And you know that this is something that can be messy And you know what you would think to do that? She said, but even when I'm praying and I'm asking God, allow me to have a safe delivery, allow my child to be healthy, allow me to be at peace and strong enough to go through all I have to go through, all of that. I let my prayers go right down to my white dress too. I pray and I ask God, God, don't let anything happen that I soil my dress or whatever until after the child is born. You know? I'm being careful. There's a channel I have. I'm here chatting with all my little peoples, you know? There's a channel I have, but you will understand where you're coming from. Yeah. She said, when the child is born and it's the time for the placenta or whatever, let that be the only thing that could soil anything. Don't let anything be happening, you know? Like to soil my white dress. And she said, for my 3 children, every time it works so, just as I have prayed and asked God, it's how it works so. You know what? Because He's a God of small details too. Yeah, the little fine details of our lives are important to Him as well. She said, and when I share with people that I pray like that, sometimes you don't do it, that is a kind of prosperity gospel thing. And so she said, no, but it isn't. Because God desires to know those little intimate things about me, the little small things that matter to me, and to see after them. And I tend to agree with that. Yes, yield not to temptation. Yeah, Mary Bear, teach them for me, Mary Bubble. Yield not to temptation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You had lunch already, Mary Boo? Granny done cook for you? Or I'm going to read Psalm 23. Look, I on here like a whole hour and a half. But I thought I would just do the half hour, but that's fine. You prefer your hair untangled? Yeah, are you... Oh, you have your hair, though? You have natural hair or you have straight hair? Actually, for the longest time, I just decided I love to have my hair natural. But I used to have my hair open. When I say open, not any locks. And I used to actually twist my hair myself, which is something. Girl, you just come to confirm everything for me today. But not in terms of my dry locks, but I said recently, cause it seems to be something I'm gifted in, right? Not all the different fancy kind of things, but you see, like twisting the hair, that's something that I could do quite well. And I said to myself, I am going to look to start back doing that, and I'm going to do it like as a blessing to people. Well, eventually, if it moves on from that, to be able to be like an additional source of income, right? Which I'm sure if that's God's will, that will happen. So be it. But especially women that I see showing up, just always share there for you too. I always being a person to be there for everybody. Yeah, I can do that in terms of twisting their hair. But when I had it in the twist, and people ask me if you hair lots, I said no, it ain't lots, it twists. So well, you don't just like lots your hair, and I was saying because I love to actually be able to have my hair open and play with it, huh? And do different things and twist it sometimes, and then maybe have it like in 2 braids another time, or maybe another time I just wear it open. Yeah, and I will be doing that. But I love natural hair, my own hair, and I love to see a woman with a beautiful head on natural hair. I really do. Yeah, I love it. So I don't know. Maybe a time will come that I know I'm not gonna go back to putting like chemicals relaxing my hair and so on. Nope, that's not for me. But maybe a time will come that I will open up the locks. Yeah, yeah. Either I will take my time and undo it, or I will cut it, or whatever. Maybe when that time's to come, that's to come. But for right now, it hasn't come as yet. But I really, like I'm sorry, I really love my hair. Do you have how's your hair? You have like thick long hair or not so long? You straighten. But if that is your decision, that's perfectly fine. I'm just saying for me, you know? Yeah, that's not for me. Oh my. Thank you very much for that compliment. Yeah. hmm hmm I tell you, it's gonna happen for you. The right person, yes, it's gonna happen for you. You like it open, not tangled, yeah. And if I even when I used to put it in a twist, sometimes then like you would twist it, and then you would plait the bottom, and it would get like you would have to end up like kind of popping it, to open it. Yeah, I spent a lot of time, working on this here. And I don't like to have a lot of chemical. I don't like a lot of tension in my head. So I don't get these lots done too often, probably like every 3 to 4 months, to be honest with you. And I don't like a lot of tension, nor do I like a lot of products, because I'm sensitive to the scent of them. I don't like to have to. I use a lot of natural things. Like all the natural things that smell up the place, like the coconut oil and the castor oil, and yeah. There was a time I used to grow some rosemary here, and I would steep the rosemary too. Rosemary is very good for your hair. Those kind of things. But like all the different products, like if you have your natural hair, you want to have it slicked back and all this, and how you have to cake up a lot of these products to keep it. I don't really like it. You have thick hair and it's medium. Okay, that sounds lovely. It will look good without hair shells. Okay. It's just a person. I missed you too, my Mary Boo Boo. I'm so happy you came on today to chat with Auntie. Yeah. Auntie miss like singing with you, Yeah. That's some good times. So how you doing now though, Mary? You still going to your scouts? What's going on with you now? As I said, I saw you when you were in the knapsack there in the stands having fun. But were you up to otherwise? You looking forward now to what? What coming next now? But I guess Easter vacation. You flying kite. You busy in scouts. Let Auntie know what's going on with you. Yes, I understand you. They look good with beads. They have one bead in right now. But especially the shells and so on. Yeah, people get like different beads that have some that you could like kind of hook on, like how you would have an earring. Hook on and do a lot. Yeah. They don't have a lot of different ones. But I like to see the different styles. That's why it's just the tension. But the young lady, beautiful young lady, hello Alicia, that does my hair, she's not one to do it very, very tight. Yeah. That's not too great either, because then you find that you will lose your hair around your hairline. Yes, you went to knapsack when it was the zones. Was it the zones or was it? Yeah, I don't think that was the finals. I could be wrong. You tell me. You will have to know when you went. But they had the cameras on you there. They had a lady like doing an interview or something like that in your stand, was it? Yeah, you were right there standing up, Mary. You never saw yourself. I didn't bother to record it. You were right there standing when this lady was there. Yeah, I see you were having fun. I think somebody around there had a drum too. Yeah. And I was fussy. I said, look at my Mary there. You get a little sip. Then I gonna read Psalm 23. And then I go, I can't spend. You like, it's 2 o'clock. I know so much time pass. 2 o'clock. Since I come back home here. I'm not even put away the groceries. I just put away what needs to be on the fridge. Yeah. We're having, I pray that God grow your... Thank you so much. I receive that blessing. I remember what I'm praying for you, that God will continue to reveal himself in your life in a mighty, mighty way. Right? And that you will continue to have that desire to draw close to him. Mom doing good, Mary Bear. I went by mom today. Auntie went church. I went church. Then I went to the supermarket. Then I went and spent time by mom. She got another painting. Now, when I'm ready, I'm going to put up a video there with the latest painting that she's working on. Right? And We played some dominoes and we had a good time. She's asked me for you to marry, boo. Yeah, mom. Draw me close to you. Never let me down. I lay it all down again to hear you say that I'm your friend. You are my desire. That's my prayer for you. Nothing else will do. 'Cause nothing else can take your place. To feel the warmth of your embrace. Help me find the way. Bring me back to you. You're all I want. You're all I've ever needed. You're all I want. Help me know you are near. Yeah. So that's my prayer. I don't have all the perfect words. You are quite eloquent. I find in the way that you speak. The way you speak, like very articulate, and you seem to be a person, although you share with me that you're young, you seem to be a person quite focused and quite sure of yourself. Right? And that's something to be celebrated. I'm very proud of you. Yeah. Very proud of you. I'm very thankful, very privileged to have met you. You got a message and played it. Oh, Mary, that was just me my day. I'm so happy to know you still playing. Yeah. Do that, gonna make me real happy, Mary Boo. Really happy. Gabrielle, she started back playing the keyboards and an electric guitar. Apparently they have them at her school. So sometimes on evenings she could go. Yeah. She's regular. Remember I told you she's good like you. She can play by ear. Right? Hear a song and pick up easily. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whoa. You really, really, you're really loving on me with the compliments. So you see what's happening here? Remember just a few moments ago, I've probably forgotten. We had someone coming on and be like, you look like Whoopi Goldberg, thinking they're insulting me. So I was taking it as a compliment because it's a beautiful black woman. Come on. You know, you're boring and you look like Whoopi Goldberg and all what kind of silly. And look how that has like literally 180 now from the compliment. See, you understand? So that's why I'm telling you. You do not worry your head about those kind of little distractions, right? You stay focused. Because then when God turns things around, it's going to be turned around. What's a good way of putting it? If the silly person and the silly distractions operating like, let's say 20-30%, when God is ready to turn things around, and you get those positive things coming into your life, that's not going to be 20% as positive, that's going to be 80%, 100%. So you don't let yourself get discouraged by that. I very much enjoy it as well. So I'm going to finish with Psalm 23 because you told me that's your favorite, right? And then I'm going to be out of here. The Lord our shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. I have everything I need. Personal to me. So when I'm going through things, I will be like, you are my shepherd. You provide for me. I have everything I need. It's not everything I need in comparison to anybody else. I'm not comparing myself to anybody else because you know what I need, right? The different things out, keeping it real once again, the different things out there, whether we're seeing it online, whether we're seeing it actually in reality in our community, in our school, in our workplace, and we looking on and we feel like everybody seems to be getting ahead. And God, what about me? Hmm? Have you forgotten me? What about me? I'm the person here down in the trenches, doing all the hard work and all the labor, and I'm the person putting up with this situation all the time. And what about me? Hmm? We allowed to feel this way and we allowed to have that honest discourse. Right? Heart be trouble. Thank you very much. And you do the same. Yeah. Yeah. So in those moments are they in moments of so like anxious moments, how am I gonna get this done better is in terms of material things. For me the big thing a lot of the time is like having time. Right? Not so much now. Because remember I told you I learned to work on my boundaries, I learned to take better care of myself a lot. But it used to be a time it would be like I need to like clone me though. There ain't enough Jessica to go around to everybody in terms of all the different things that need to be done, all the different people that need to have a piece of me. And even in those moments, it'll be like, keep your eyes on me because I have everything you need. Right? Don't get yourself caught up with this need to be done and that person needs you and this and this and this. It's enough for you to just be sit at my feet and just be present. Lock eyes with me. I have everything you need. I see you. I have everything you need. Where I was these days, I was right here. Right here. He lets me rest in fields of green grass. So remember this, your psalm. So what stands out for you and that? For me, it's rest. Immediately. For me, immediately as I saw that, my eyes, I will focus on the rest. Because that's where I'm at. Remember? But I keep telling you, are personalizing. So when you're reading, you ain't just reading like calling words and like reading as if like we're doing a comprehension for school or something. We personalizing it. So it's like, what about it? It's speaking to you and where you. So like for me, immediately as I go there, as I say, and even studying field and green grass, blue grass, orange, whatever. Rest. Rest. And even you could be in a situation, rest doesn't have to be like laying down in the bed, laying down in the chair, rocking by the beach, but it all sounds very idyllic by the way. And I actually into this thing right now of having my compulsory daily naps, which I don't always sleep. But you know what I do? That's very beautiful. You know what I do? But ideally, I don't know if you put that as a joke or what, I see the sincerity in your heart. You need to like when you find a mate and align yourself with someone, find somebody that could like strengthen you and you could balance each other out. Like feeling low in your faith, that person could pour in. We talk a lot about things like 50-50, but friendship, relationship, that kind of thing, it don't really be 50-50. Sometimes it's 100-0, sometimes it's 80-20, sometimes it's 50-50, From day to day, it varies a lot. So it's very important. Like find somebody, you know, that can help balance you. I usually wear balance, like compliment you. Yeah. Strengthen you, gird you, keep you up when you need it. Serena, that is such a beautiful name. Glacier is your nickname. Zarina is a beautiful, beautiful name. I'm so glad to meet you. A beautiful, beautiful name. Do you know what's the meaning of your name? I know some people name Serena, but it's spelled not like this. Zarine. Yeah, but a really beautiful name. I shared with someone here, my name means wealthy. And then he said, yeah, Jessica be wealthy. I said, well, let me own that because I'm always telling people come to understand the meaning of your name and walk in purpose according to the meaning of your name, right? So I said, hey, let me start. Let me own that. Let me assume that there. And wealthy is not just about the money. Wealthy is wealthy in terms of your relationships. I said again, your mindset, having that peace of mind, coming to the place of, being comfortable in yourself, knowing this is my own interpretation when I hear the word wealthy. And there's nothing wrong with having a lot of money either. Another thing in our mindset, right, that we think is something wrong with it, but it's not. Pursuing that to the detriment or at the expense of everything else is something wrong in that. Remember, everything must be balanced, but there's nothing wrong with having money and being comfortable. Oh, you want me to tell you? I will have to look it up and come back and tell you. So that's 2 sets of homework you are giving me. I need to take notes, but I will remember though. To find that song by Tasha Combs, right? Fill Me Up, that's number one. Learn it and practice it so I can come and sing for you. And two is to find the meaning of your name. I'm going to find it out and tell you. I'm going to find it out. So I was telling you, I'm at the place where I'm going to have these compulsory naps. And what I do, I realize it's something that benefits me. Like anytime I feel like my nervous system getting overwhelmed. How you know when your nervous system getting overwhelmed? I educating you as I myself have been educated, right? If you ever get the feeling like you moving in slow motion, sometimes this happens to me, right? Like a lot of things need to be done or something, but it's like your body playing catch or something, Um, sometimes I would get the feeling like I'm here and so my daughter might be trying to share something or, different people like competing for your attention. I feel myself like getting kind of irritated. Like I need to have some kind of time. Well, it might be a kind of introvert thing in me too, which you would never guess, right? But yeah, I need to have some kind of time. Right now, my system getting like overloaded or something though. I need to have some kind of time like to myself to reset. So one of the things I do is I go in my room and I have the curtains that are supposed to be what you call the blackout curtains, like the heavy curtains, like it's kind of fabric that can keep the room dark. But I find even with them, some light still comes through. So I have those curtains, and then I would take 2 sheets. I put over the curtains, so the room is now pretty dark. And then on top of that, I would take my blanket and put over my head. And just something about that, it something feels very grounding, very centering, very relaxing to me. So for the time I'm on vacation, oh, this week is gonna be my last week. Oh boy, no pressure, right? It was my intention a bit of gardening, grounding once again, and a little nap time every day. It hasn't worked out for every day, but it's something. All I could tell you is the importance of rest. Rest, rest, rest. Remember, we're not just talking about rest in terms of being in the bed, being in the chair, and those kind of things. We're talking about resting in God's promises, resting in God's word, resting in God's peace. All right. So you could be like on the subway, you could be on the highway in traffic, you could be walking along Broad Street. This like part of the city, the capital in Barbados, for those that would not know. On a Christmas Eve, where everybody bustling around you and shoving you and so on. And you could still be at a place of rest in the midst of all of that there. Right? Because you understand who is keeping your mind. You get where I'm coming from? You understand, you are aware of that. You could be in the midst, even with all that's going on in the world now. Remember, I share personally, I am very careful not to bombard myself with too much news because I find I protect my mental health a lot, right? And I find I'm a person very empathetic. I can't take too much of like this kind of heavy stuff, especially like children suffering and situations that make you feel very helpless. I protect my mind. It's not that I don't care, but I protect myself when it comes to that kind of thing. But you could be in the midst of a lot of doom and gloom and uncertainty and so on. Are you still there? in your place of rest, right? Because your personal security, your ability to thrive, your happiness, your joy. Another thing I always say, hide your joy. Tuck it away somewhere that nobody can get at it, right? You have that hidden in God, so nobody's getting at that. I'm still laughing from the notes. Maribel, I still have it there all like no turn off the stove. I look at it up to yesterday and I was thank you for subscribing. I have never imagined. Very beautiful. I just Serena, as I promised you, I'm gonna find the meaning of your name, but I'm just marveling at how you're coming on here today and confirming a lot of things, you know. The thing is, something I said to myself once, up to yesterday, like, just take the limits off, you know. Don't be limiting myself. Don't limit myself. So allow God to use me freely. Be open to that, and in a mighty way, far-reaching way. In terms of distance, and more importantly, I think in terms of depth, right? Yeah. And this kind of things really, because as I tell you, I didn't come on looking to be here all this time and doing this today. I really came out to share about an interaction with a young lady at church, and just one thing led to another. Yeah, it's so glad. I'm really so glad that we have connected. But it's true. I firmly believe that. Thank you for confirming that he has already started. Right. Take me places beyond my imagination. So it's for us to be open, to open up ourselves to his plan. You got to be able to perceive it, right? My belly growling again. And like I fasted today, all I have for the day so far was an orange, which is fun. I think the food done, though I got a hot drink at lunch. And leads me to quiet pools of fresh water. Where with the water now comes renewal, right? Renewal. Refreshing, yes. You're quenching the thirst. Immediately it's refreshing. So you're refreshing your thirst. But beyond that now is renewal. So for me personally, how that's been applied to me personally is renewal. Renewing my spirit, renewing my mind. Right? Renewing. He gives me new strength. I don't know what more you could ask for. Total package, right? He guides me in the right paths as he had promised. Once again, our common thread for today. Right, so remember we were talking about knowing the paths and so on, right? So he is the one that's guiding the path. So even sometimes we're looking at a path and it's looking real attractive. You can picture like some of these people dangling carrots, dangling a carrot there ahead of you. And this road look like real attractive and rewarding and exciting and so on, but it really isn't. There's a lot going on that you can't perceive. So son is even looking ahead, you're looking in the distance and picture it like maybe it's a pot of gold to keep it simple. Don't let me stretch myself too far. The pot of gold. And you could look so like picture it like 100 meter. And you could see the finish line. But you ain't seeing all the different things that come in against you along that stretch to get that pot of gold. And you wondering, why it is I can't really move off this starting line? Or why it is every time I feel like I start in this race, it's a false start and something happening and they gotta go back to the starting line again. And furthermore, when they go back to the starting line, I'm even like being put at a disadvantage because I have to go back even further than where it was originally. Because that path is not for you. Right? God never intended for that path to be for you. That's not what he desires for you. But the path that he might very well have for you, you are not going to be able to look and see that the pot of gold is at the end, you know. It might be something that when you look, is some bushy area that you can't even understand it's supposed to be a path. So you got to be the person to now go and trod, and as you trod it and you beat that path along. Right? As you trod, you're being made stronger. You're traveling the distance, you're building stamina. Hmm? You're going up some parts, you got to challenge yourself. Like it's a hilly terrain or something. You're building muscles, you're building strength in your legs. You got to climb or something, you exercising your arms. You got to figure out like some obstacle, something come up, you know. You got to figure out how to get around that. You're developing your mind. You're developing patience, perseverance. Hmm? Your determination, that mental strength. Remember, we talk about the mental strength, Serena? Right? You're developing yourself. You ain't appreciating the journey all along, you know. If you're anything like me, you going along and you one thing about me, I gonna continue to put one foot in front of the other. But you go along the grumbling, you know. Huh? Like, boy, this is the best path that you can find for me. You can find like some well milled or some well paved road or something. And look, you got me literally down walk off my shoe. You got me here now walking with my bare foot. Huh? On this. And I getting pricked here and I getting stuck here and I getting rational through going through the bush and different things. This is the best you got in store for me, doggone. When you see you there at Guyana, I don't know if you've ever been to the Qatar Falls. I would like to visit. When you get to the point that you can stand now and you can view what it is God had in store, again, goosebumps as I share with you, what it is that God has in store for you. But making that pot of gold look small. Imagine you got yourself like some majestic waterfall or something. This is how I picture it for myself. It's not about me and the water, right? Some majestic waterfall or something like that. Hmm? Remember the pot of gold, as much as we worship this thing about gold and we think it's so great and it will blow our mind, like this is it now. It gonna run out, you know. But like you get now to see like this, as I said, I picture it as a waterfall, something that's sustaining you forevermore. Like you ain't gonna thirst again. That's something that's scriptural too, but I ain't talking it because it just coming out, right? It just coming out. But as I share it now, I saying to myself, it's scriptural. Yeah. Life-giving water. Out of my belly shall flow rivers, rivers of living water. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Out of my belly shall flow rivers, rivers of healing water. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And as the river flows, it will bring every dead thing to life. Rivers of healing water. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a beautiful song. I think it's actually called Out of My Belly. The artist is African man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Life-giving water that sustains you. And you will never thirst again. I think that's when Jesus encountered the woman at the well. Even if I go through the deepest darkness, I will not be afraid, Lord, for you are with me. Your shepherd's rod and staff protect me. You prepare a banquet for me where all my enemies can see me. You welcome me as an honored guest. And this is something I don't mind sharing. This is something that I dream from time to time. I can't really stretch it to say that I would dream it like in times when I'm challenged like extraordinary or anything like that. It might be that I'm just not remembering the circumstances, but it's like a recurring dream, something that I dream from time to time. The most recent time that I dreamt it, I was actually going upstairs, and I told myself that's a positive dream. I was going up the stairs, and when I got to the top of the stairs, it was like a banquet had been prepared for me, and I was the guest of honor. Right? Another time I dreamt it, and like I was on a ship, and that one when I was on a ship, it was brought over that even as I feast my eyes on it, everything looked so great. Someone was saying like, this ain't good enough for Jessica though. You can imagine that? I myself was looking at it and I was like overwhelmed by the goodness and the extravagance and everything of it. And yeah, someone was like, this ain't quite cutting it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I was able to perceive in both cases that it was a spiritual experience, a spiritual dream. And it's a reason why it's brought over that way, where all my enemies can see me, you know? Not something I ain't standing out to me at this point in terms of personalizing things, but for sure it's a reason it's being done like that. I fill my cup to the brim. Once again, the water, always something that I identify. Running over, running over. I know that your goodness and love will be with me all my life, and your house will be my home as long as I live. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna end there. Anyone left? Well, it's me and you here, Mary Bear. It's Serena, Mary Bear, and Auntie here. Auntie getting ready to leave. So let me get a final word. What you have to say? Give us a last word of encouragement there, Mary Bobo. You have anything to say before Auntie signs off? Zarina, I'm going to leave you. I am going to leave you. You have been such a joy. As you say, it's been a beautiful thing connecting with you. I'm always somebody all for connecting with people. Even some people, as I said to you, they might seem difficult, they might seem silly and so on. You got to have that discernment to know who's for you and who's not for you. But do not allow people to get into your mind and pull you down. Right? Don't allow them to steal your joy. I think that's the best way to bring it over. Right? You stay focused. See, like we stay focused, you and I? Yeah. It's really has been a blessing. I pray you will enjoy the remainder of your day and you will continue to grow by God's grace and His strength, and He will reveal to you the purpose that He has for your life. We never even talk about like what kind of job, like if you're working, studying, you know, what your passions and so on. But another time, though, yeah, it really has been a blessing. The Lord is my Mary Buddha, something that my Mary Bear does. When we have when we used to have our lessons, he would share, give a final word. The Lord loves everyone with all His heart. If you're sad, you can run to Him. Mary Bear, that's so beautiful. Tell Zarina how old you are, Mary Boo. So you see what I told you about out of the mouth of babes, right? Mary Bear is, I think, 9 years old. You could tell me if I'm wrong, Mary Bear, but I think 9. Yeah. And he came on to let you know that God loves you with all His heart. And if you are sad, you can run to Him. That's so beautiful, Mary Bear. Thank you so much. What Auntie has to say as the final word now. But I don't know if I could do better than that. Love each other and be there for each other. Right? Encourage each other. Be patient with each other. Show each other grace. There's probably something that I'm always saying because I'm probably like talking to myself when I say it. But yeah. 9 going 10. Yeah, soon to be 10 is going to be in May. Mary Bear turning 10 just now. Very wise beyond his years. God is compassionate and we should show compassion. Yes, and share knowledge. Yeah. That's a good thing for the day. Yeah. Because before I realized that this conversation today, that this was gonna go down this way, I was supposed to come and sing, as I said, Good Good Father, and the other song was, What would you do if I sang out a tune? Would you know that song? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song. I will try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try a little help from my friends. Yeah, just about being there for each other, right? And you see how it start off. What would you do if I sang out of key? So you gotta be there for each other, even any miss or the imperfection, the silliness, the messing up, all the different things. You gotta be there. You gotta be able to accept each other. You know what I mean when I say accept, right? Because you are sticking around with people who are not there for your growth. All right? You understand we all growing together, and every day is not going to be the same. But ultimately, you want to be with people who desire your growth, who are able to speak positive things over you, both your present and your future. All right? Yes, Mary Bear has a heart after God. Yeah, he's a worshiper. Very talented. Um, a good ear for music, you know? And a very strong voice. He loves to worship. Yeah, he loves to worship. When he will come to lessons, and we always have to start off singing. Yeah, singing and worshiping. Yeah. You don't know that song? You got Auntie like an old person now. There used to be a TV show called The Wonder Years, and that would be the theme song for The Wonder Years. But that song is by Sergio Mendes. Yeah. Brazilian kind of. We call it kind of jazz like, but yeah. What would you do? I don't know if that's the title of it. What would you do? All right, so I'm going to share the last song with you, and I'm remembering my homework. Find out the meaning of your name. Get that song Fill Me Up by Tasha Cobbs. Yeah, and you learn a new song too. Funny. And thank you for spending, keeping me company for so long, right? Yeah, sure you didn't plan to stay on so long either. So enjoy the balance of your day, Mary Bear. You enjoy the rest of your day to give my love to Granny and everybody. And if I don't get to chat with you again, Mary Bear, have a blessed Easter when it comes, okay? But you know you can reach out to Auntie on my phone otherwise. Yeah. You promised me, Mary, you said you're going to reach out and you're going to play that piano for me, all right? So I'm looking forward to it. All right, keep sweet, everybody. Take care. If I'm Jamaican, no, Barbados. You forget when you start off and you told me you living in Guyana, but you are from Barbados, right? Yeah. But I don't know, somehow they tell me my accent, especially I speak in a very kind of dragging way. I don't know. I don't know. It's something about the way I speak, but yeah. Born in Barbados, living in Barbados. All right. My little Junior. Hello, Junior. All right. For the 100th time. Bye 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 bye. I'm sure we will get to chat again. All right. Bye bye.